What's up, everybody? Just want to do a quick recap. UFC Vegas 71. Another terrible night for me. A ton of underdogs won. I was on the wrong ones, and I wasn't on enough. Got the main event right. That was pretty easy to me. I just knew Curtis Blades just takes a lot of punches, plain and simple. Didn't want to overcomplicate it. Then the co-main, Brad Tavares and Bruno Silva. Bruno Silva just had a horrible performance against Gerald Meerschaert, but I forgot he still got power. So that was me making an underestimation, and yeah, just kind of seemed like a weird card for some reason. I don't know, but just to go over a quick one: Muhammad Usman and Junior Tafa. I was going back and forth. I should have stuck with Usman. A low-level heavyweight fight. Pick the guy that has some sort of wrestling or grappling ability. Junior Tafa was landing some big power shots in the first round, but Muhammad Usman has a decent chin, and he was able to clinch him up and get him to the ground eventually, and Junior Tafa just has no takedown defense or get-up ability, so yeah, that was that. And, the first couple fights of the night, Brady Highstand and Dana Bakkeril. Dana Bakkeril looked like he was about to get it done, and then Brady Highstand was able to get that takedown and just TKO him from the back. And originally I was on Highstand, and just like kind of thinking about it, I just thought as the rounds went on, I thought Highstand wouldn't be able to get those takedowns, and was kind of trending because Bakkeril lost the first round, had a good second round, but then in the third round, Bakkeril just kind of ran out of gas completely, which was interesting. And then Francis Marshall and William Gomez. Gomez was just able to secure some of those takedowns and land some of those punches. And yeah, I don't know. Francis Marshall, I thought he'd be able to land some sort of big shot or something, but Gomez just kept his distance and he played it smart. So yeah. So, first couple fights of the night for me, always hard to predict, I guess. That kind of determines if I'm going to have a good or a bad night. But, anyway, and then the prelim main event, Rick Glenn and Christos Giagos at 155 pounds. I went with Rick Glenn because I thought... Actually, sorry, let's start with co-main event of the prelims, Ronnie Yahya and Montel Jackson. I got this one right, thankfully. He was a huge favorite, though, but I said to bet money on Ronnie Yahya, pick Montel Jackson, but yeah, man, I was looking too much into that one. I think I got too excited by the line, but in the first round, Ronnie shoots a single, but Montel is able to stuff his hips in, gets sort of a cradle position, pulls his hip out, and he's able to transition into full guard. Ronnie kind of tries an armbar, but can't really get anything. Then it's kind of both stand up. And then Ronnie's kind of lunging over with that overhand, and Montel hits him with a counter 3-2, follows him up on the ground, gets a nice TKO via ground and pound. So, it wasn't much worry on that one. Montel Jackson looked like he's going to have some success at bantamweight, and, Ronnie Yahya, tough guy, but you just think he's so dangerous on the ground. But Montel Jackson had decent defense, so that was good. And then the prelim main event, the main event of the prelims at lightweight, 155 pounds, Rick Glenn and Christos Giagos. I went with Rick Glenn, and he was a slight favorite, and I don't know. I just thought because Giagos had been off for a little bit, and he got finished in his first round in the past two fights, but he fought Armin Sarukian and Thiago Moises, so I should have took that into account. Very high-level competition. In the first round, Christie, he lands an uppercut, but then he misses the left hook, though, but then he gets a KO off of a cross in the pocket. The fight didn't even get going. So, Christos Giagos has tons of power. Yeah. And Rick Glenn, I thought he would be able to use his wrestling. He had a knockdown, drag-out fight with Grant Dawson. Had a 10-8 round against Grant Dawson. Grant Dawson, he's somebody I'm very high on at lightweight. So it's just a little shocking to me. But, in some of those middle tier to lower tier fights, the guys that have the first round knockout power, they do get those first round knockouts. So just a tough one to pick, but he was the underdog, so that would have been a perfect spot for him. So something I need to learn. First fight of the night, main card, 170 pounds, men's welterweight. Jeremiah Wells, Matt Semmelsberger. Again, going back and forth on this one. I just wanted Semmelsberger because I thought Semmelsberger would have the better grappling techniques. And I thought he would, I thought Jeremiah Wells would be the one that was getting tired later on in the fight. But no. Jeremiah Wells used his wrestling. Matt Semmelsberger did not have any takedown defense. He did not know how to get up off a takedown or didn't try to. It was just shocking to me. But in the first round, Matt drops him right away at the right cross. But Jeremiah is able to get up, get the body lock takedown, land some ground and pound in full guard, land some decent damage. So that round's a toss-up. You can give it to whoever you want to, I guess. I still think I would have gave it to Matt because he drops him. But Jeremiah Wells landed a ton of ground and pound. But then in the second round, Matt drops him again with the left and then a right hook. Lands some ground and pound, not a ton. And then Jeremiah able to get back to his feet, gets a blast double, doesn't land a ton of ground and pound of full guard, but Matt doesn't try to get up. So that gives, the judges could have gave that to Jeremiah. I think Matt wins that clearly, but you know these judges. Then in the third round, Jeremiah gets the body lock and he transitions to, gets the double leg off the fence. Matt Semmelsberger not proper takedown defense. He did finally split his legs like the commentator's been begging him to do, basically. Finally, but he tried to hit a switch sit at some point, and just like he was too comfortable getting on the fence. So I just don't know, man. Matt Semmelsberger just did not fight how he usually fights. And Jeremiah Wells, since when does that guy have cardio in the third round? I don't know, but solid fight. Jeremiah Wells, very tough competitor. Got dropped 2 times, came back, wins the third round clearly. So, yeah, man, Jeremiah Wells. Yeah, he's a guy to look out for at welterweight, I believe, because I thought Semmelsberger looked amazing coming off that Jake Matthews fight. So, it was a tough one. Jeremiah Wells, sizable underdog, like plus 130 or something like that, I think. So, it's just a very strange fight. I just did not expect Jeremiah Wells to fight like that. And, yeah, Jeremiah Wells can wrestle, so. Second fight on the main card, women's flyweight, Yasmin Lucindo taking on Brogan Walker. This wasn't a hard one for me. I had reservations betting minus 325 on Yasmin Lucindo, so I didn't bet that fight. But yeah, Brogan Walker, Yasmin just clearly had the better striking. Brogan Walker just doesn't have great IQ. First round, Jasmine pressures forward with some hooks and some overhands in the pockets, just kind of circles on the outside. She just landing the cleaner shots, landing the more powerful shots. Second round, Yasmin gets a body lock takedown off of Brogan's face kick. So, yeah, Brogan threw, Yasmin not really a great wrestler, but, we saw in a Julian Miller fight, Brogan has a grappling deficiency. Yasmin, not really known for her grappling, still got her to the ground. And then in the third round, Yasmin just counters whenever Brogan rushes forward, just counters with some clean 1-2s, stays on the outside, picks her apart. So, pretty easy one. Yasmin coming off of that banger, her last fight. Who'd you fight? Against Yasmin Uruguay. So, yeah. Brogan Walker lost to Juliana Miller, tough finale. So, solid first win for her in the UFC. And they'll probably move her up a little slowly. Feature fight of the night, I was really looking forward to this fight at lightweight, 155. Bobby King Green taking on Jared Flash Gordon. I thought this was going to be a banger here. And it kind of got there, but, obviously an unfortunate ending. A clash of heads, and then Bobby Green gets a TKO off the clash of heads. Jared Gordon got dropped from that, so they called it no contest. Thankfully, they did the right thing here. It looked like they were about to give a TKO victory for Bobby Green, which... we've had enough of that. We're just coming off of Chris Curtis and the Kelvin Gastelum debacle. So, not too much happened in the fight. First round, Jared lands a right cross in the pocket. He's landing that long left hook. But then Bobby starts pressing and landing some straight shots, straight rights, and some 1-2s. Kind of piecing up Jared, not really. The action was just heating up as the clash of heads happened. So, pretty unfortunate. I hope they run this one back. I still think it's a good fight. And like I said, I think it's a position where both guys would benefit from this victory. So, yeah, just unfortunate, man. Kind of took the steam out of the whole card for me, honestly. Then the co-main event, at middleweight, Brad Tavares and Bruno Silva. I thought both guys could use a win here as well. Bruno Silva more so. And coming into it, just Bruno Silva just looked horrible against Gerald Meerschaert. Brad Tavares gave Duplessis a hell of a fight, so I kind of went with Tavares, man. But Bruno Silva reminded us who he is. He's that guy that knocks motherfuckers out. He takes a lot of damage, but he knocks people out. In the first round, Brad Tavares kind of skirts the fence. He's landed a lead left hook and some jabs and some body kicks, but then Silva would counter with that 1-2. Silva's shots had a little bit more sting on them. And then Brad was landing some 1-2s, but then Silva rocked him with the check right hook off the step-in 1-2. But then Brad was able to land a right cross, but then Silva pulls a knee to the head, and then on the break, he lands a right cross and just gets the knockout with one shot. So, yeah. I don't know. Not really. Neither one of these guys are somebody that I was really super into. Just, I was never like mark myself down to watch them fight. But, yeah. Bruno Silva, I guess you'd call him like gatekeeper-ish to the top 15 now, maybe. Maybe that's what that fight was for, actually, looking back on it, to be the top 15 guy. But, yeah, Tavares always been a fan favorite, and, you know, just kind of unfortunate, man. Tavares always had a decent chin, so I don't know. But, yeah, Bruno Silva was a decent underdog in that fight, and, yeah, like plus 170, and just based off the Joe Meerschaert performance, I just didn't feel comfortable laying that money on him. So I don't know, man. For me, this was just a strange card. Like, all these underdogs won, but they just didn't make sense looking at their data from the last fight. So, like, I heard the narrative that Bruno Silva had just something wrong with him in the Joe Meerschaert fight, and I guess, but, you know, Tavares looked good in his last fight. So I just really don't understand that one. I guess in the future, whenever two guys have similar or at similar levels of skill, and one has a sizable advantage, one has a distinct advantage, as in Bruno Silva has that power advantage. I should have just went with him in the co-main, but as in the underdog spot. But yeah, is what it is. Bruno Silva's back on track. Good for him. Who does he fight next? Honestly, don't really know. He could probably somebody outside of the rankings, somebody trying to come up, because. Yeah, maybe Andre Muniz and Bruno Silva, actually. I think that would be a solid fight. Or you could do Tavares and Muniz. But, yeah, should be a fun one. Main event of the evening at heavyweight, 265 pounds. You had Sergei Pavlovich taking on Curtis Razor Blades. This one was for title implications. Again, heavyweight is a mess. It's a circus. We don't know when they're going to fight for that title. We don't know if they're fighting for a vacant title. We don't know if they're fighting the winner of John Stipe. John Stipe was supposed to happen in July. Now it's not going to happen until November, evidently. Are these guys going to sit out that long? Are they going to fight somebody in the interim? Are they going to fight the winner of Jailton Almeida and Jairzinho Rozenstruik? Who knows? But I went with Sergei Pavlovich. Heavyweight fight, slight underdog. And Curtis Blades, his last couple fights showing his hands. In the Dawkins fight, did not shoot one takedown, but in the Tom Aspinall fight didn't get going. But before that, last November, he took on Rozenstruik. All he did was take him down, so I didn't know. I just know that previously, Curtis Blades lost to Derek Lewis, and Curtis Blades eats punches. And then all the way back to June 2020, when he fought Alexander Volkov. He ate a lot of punches, a lot of kicks in the face. When he fought Derek Lewis, he stood up with Derek Lewis. Sergei Pavlovich, whenever he gets in the pocket, people go to sleep. His arms are way longer than anybody's. He can get to the target before other people can. That's how he got Derek Lewis. That's how he got Tai Tuivasa. I just went with Pavlovich. And everybody's talking about how Pavlovich's ground game is so bad. Whenever, a long time ago, whenever he fought Overeem, and Overeem took him down. That was a long time ago. I'm sure Pavlovich has some decent competency for takedown defense. And if not, I just knew Curtis Blades had a tendency to strike with people. And he said, I want to develop my hands. And I just didn't think that would be a good game plan. And Curtis Blades took one shot the whole fight, a half-assed double leg that was easily stopped by Pavlovich. You know, So let's just go over it real quick. In the first round, Sergei landed a long lead right hook, but then Curtis was landing back some jabs and some crosses, but then Sergei was blitzing with some overhands. And then Sergei drops him with the overhand right, and then he rocks him with the jab, stuffs that weak double attempt. Looked more like a fake to me, to be honest. Like, just something that he would think Sergei would react to, because he didn't go down on a knee or anything. And he didn't have his hips under him like a proper double. But then when he stops it, he lands a lead hook and then a lead uppercut. And then followed up, he kind of gets him over to the fence. He lands a lead uppercut and a short hook, then a right uppercut, followed by a left hook, and gets a knockout. And Curtis Blades was in the defensive position against the fence in the corner and didn't even shoot for a takedown when he was eating a flurry. It was the fight-ending flurry. He wanted to try to strike back with him. So, just a lot of questionable IQ. Thankfully, that was the one underdog I was on. I just was very confident about this one for some reason. I didn't have to think too much about this fight. So, yeah. But, I mean, Sergei Pavlovich still doesn't answer a whole ton of questions because he didn't really have to defend any proper wrestling takedowns. Didn't have an onslaught of grappling. Didn't have any chain wrestling coming back his way. So, but he was able to stop one double leg from Curtis Blades, which isn't nothing. So, what happens when Sergei has to go 2 rounds, 3 rounds, maybe even 5 rounds? We don't know. But Sergei Pavlovich can finish anybody in the world in the first round. And he's more than a one flurry type of guy. He can put shots together, relax, go back to the center, and try to find his target. So, yeah. Pretty weird card, but, you know, pretty exciting main event. And heavyweight, if they ever gets going again, is very exciting because I would love to see Sergei fight John Jones. I think that's the matchup to make. So, anyway, sorry I sucked again this weekend. I don't know. I just got to keep going till I do well eventually. It's got to happen at some point. Next week, though, we got Ricky Simón taking on Song Yadong. That was actually supposed to be the co-main event of this card, but it works for the main event because Song Yadong, his only loss is to Corey Sandhagen in recent memory, and Corey Sandhagen just got that win over Chito Vera. So he's in a decent position. And then Ricky Simón, he's on his way up. He could use a little bit of boost in the rankings. If he beats Song Yadong, it would help him. Ricky Simón at number 10, Song Yadong at number 8. So that's a solid matchup, and I'm excited for it. I like his style clash. Song Yadong hits like a truck. Ricky Simón, very tenacious grappler. So pretty exciting. And also you got Caio Borralho. I'm kind of on him, low-key. He's on a solid 3-fight win streak. So he's taking on Michael Jacek. So should be interesting to see how middleweight plays out as well. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you riding with me, and we're going to do better.